Right now, making a change to the state's constitution. The question on the ballot centering around voting rights. Plus, more campaign stops announced in the Badger State, the upcoming visits from former President Trump and President Biden in the coming days. And helping children in need, how you can keep local kids warm ahead of the winter season. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Eric has the night off. Many Wisconsinites are already starting to cast their ballots for this November's election. Aside from the big questions like who should be the next president or Wisconsin senator, voters will also see another constitutional amendment on their ballots, this time focused on voting. But some say the amendment is trying to solve a problem that simply doesn't exist. Braden Ross explains.
What constitutional amendments do is they entrench. That is, they make a rule much, much harder to change.
Wisconsin voters, you're probably used to this.
We have to pass this constitutional amendment.
Once again, Wisconsinites will be asked to vote on an amendment to the state constitution. And this one all comes down to one word.
There's a huge difference between every and only.
This is how the Wisconsin state constitution reads right now. It says every U.S. citizen above the age of 18 can vote in their local elections. This amendment, though, would change the word every to only, essentially barring non-citizens from ever hitting the polls in Wisconsin. And you may be thinking, isn't that already the case? Well, the answer is yes and no.
This amendment is sort of a sheep in wolf's clothing, if I can put it that way. It's a vigorous response to an essentially non-existent problem.
Right now, federal law limits voting in federal elections like those for U.S. Congress and president to only U.S. citizens. And nowhere in Wisconsin currently allows or has plans to allow non-citizens to vote. But some local governments in other parts of the country have started to allow non-citizens to vote in some local elections, like ones for school board.
The fact that it's happening in other places is why we should be concerned about it.
Proponents of the amendment, mainly Republicans, say it's essential to protecting our elections, but others say there's an ulterior motive here.
I won't call it dirty politics, but it's kind of in that gray area of slightly sketchy politics. The point is not particularly to change the rules of who can vote. The point is to make this issue at the forefront of voters' thinking so that they are sensitive and receptive to a claim that somehow the election is crooked.
That was our Braden Ross reporting. Now again, you'll see this question on your ballot this November. A vote of yes would make that change and ban non-citizens from ever being allowed to vote in Wisconsin. A vote of no would leave the state constitution as is. And in our 3 for the People coverage this week, we're focusing on the Madison schools referendum. Tonight, we're looking at what happens if it fails. On November 5th, the district will ask voters for a total of $607 million. One question asks for $100 million for operating expenses. The other question asks for $507 million to renovate or replace 10 schools. If the referendums fail, the district spokesperson says there are no plans to reduce staff or make cuts. One plan on the table would be to dip into the district's savings and spend about $45 million for operations through June of 2025. The board also has the option of going to referendum in the spring. You can find more of our referendum coverage at channel3000.com in the 3 for the People section. Well, tonight we'll see dry conditions and clear skies, but that could change tomorrow night. Let's go out to the patio with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington for our rain chances this weekend.
That's right, Armand. It's been a dry September. We had on September 22nd, we had a bit of rain, and it's been dry ever since. And we are tracking a cold front that's going to be moving through southern Wisconsin at this time tomorrow night. Let's start off, though, with tonight. 53 degrees right now outside. It's pretty nice out here on the patio. But as you said, Armand, about 24 hours from now, we could be looking at some showers and some thunderstorms across southern Wisconsin. And right out here on the patio, we may observe some of those drops. The rest of the night tonight, though, temperatures cooling down to about 47 at 4 a.m., but look by 6 a.m., it's back up to 50. Warmer air is going to be moving in out ahead of this cold front on Saturday, and quite the warm day is expected on Saturday with high temperatures getting upwards of nearly 80 degrees. Look at that. 83 in Lone Rock, 84 in Prairie du Chien, 82 in Janesville, and 81 to the north in the Dells. That's that warm air that you need out ahead of this cold front to spark a couple showers and a couple thunderstorms. Sunday, though, we're back down to 67 behind that cold front, and it will be a breezy weekend. Coming up in Maine weather, we'll track that line of showers and storms. Who stands the best chance of them, and how strong are those winds? What are we talking about with those wind gusts in a few minutes?
Alex, thank you. Former President Donald Trump will be back in Wisconsin on Sunday. Trump is expected to speak at the Dodge County Airport in Juneau at 2. This is his 4th campaign stop in the Badger State in the span of a week. The former president made stops in Waunakee and Milwaukee on Tuesday, with a visit to Prairie du Chien last Saturday. Doors for the event open at 10. Ticketing information can be found on our website, channel3000.com. And President Joe Biden will return to Wisconsin on Tuesday. Biden plans to stop in Milwaukee to tout his administration's work in job creation and replacing lead pipes. He'll then head to Philadelphia for another trip on the campaign trail. Further details about Biden's visit were not immediately announced. The president last visited Wisconsin in early September. Now, amid the election, we see headlines about the latest poll numbers. But a fun side for hobbyists is for political observers to be tracking the political betting odds for the election cycle. Political reporter Will Keneally spoke with 2 UW experts about how the betting odds are shifted by what happens during the campaign.
We aren't going to say that we can know exactly what's going on behind the curtain, right, and how they're making these decisions or choices. But what we do argue, and we've seen historically, is that the way that these bets are set up reflect kind of a broader mood of the electorate, but also when they're bets about specific issues, say when it comes to presidential debates, they're going to really reflect issues that citizens are concerned about.
Experts say that can also offer insight into possible racist or sexist views the electorate holds of certain candidates. You can see more from the conversation this Sunday at 10:30 on For the Record. And the News 3 Now Coats for Kids Drive ends tomorrow, and today we got a look at some of the donations given to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County. We're about halfway to our goal of 5,000 coats. Right now, you can donate new or gently used kids' winter coats and accessories, including hats, gloves, scarves, snowsuits, and snow pants to area children in need. Just drop them off at any Clinky Cleaners, where they'll be cleaned for free. You can also donate money.
We're going to go out and buy coats that fill in all those gaps that we don't have. You know, we get a lot of coats for the littles and some of the older kids, but that, you know, kindergarten, 1st, 2nd grade, we have a big gap. So that's what we're going to buy if we need to with that money donated.
We'll also welcome volunteers to help organize incoming donations and assist on Coats for Kids Distribution Day. For more information on how to donate and volunteer, visit the story on channel3000.com. Over the last 38 years, the community has donated more than 355,000 winter coats. When we come back at News 3 Now at 10, Alex details the cool days ahead and helping survivors of Hurricane Helene. The local community collecting supplies for those in need.
Welcome to Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret for beautiful furniture, sofas, chairs, and recliners, sectionals, and fun accessories. Shop our Fitchburg showroom today.
Old windows compromise your home's comfort. Vinyl windows, a 1970s relic, aren't built for extreme weather. They warp and crack, becoming vulnerable to the elements. At Next Door & Window, we have the answer. Fiberglass. Our Ultrex fiberglass windows last up to 50 years, longer than any other window you can buy. And while other companies cut corners and never call you back, we've got your back. When you demand tomorrow's comfort, Next delivers. Visit nextwindow.com to learn more.
It's your thing.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Pick and Save. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $2 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
In 2016, Donald Trump said he would choose only the best people to work in his White House. Now those people have a warning for America. Trump is not fit to be president again. Here's his vice president.
Anyone who puts himself over the Constitution should never be president of the United States.
I cannot in good conscience endorse Donald Trump this year.
His defense secretary.
Do you think Trump can be trusted with the nation's secrets ever again?
No. I mean, it's just irresponsible action that places our service members at risk, places our nation's security at risk.
His national security advisor.
Donald Trump will cause a lot of damage. The only thing he cares about is Donald Trump.
And the nation's former highest-ranking military officer.
We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or to a tyrant or a dictator.
that we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator.
Take it from the people who knew him best. Donald Trump is too big a risk for America.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Prices are up, wages are down, inflation is crushing Wisconsin families. Yet Sarah Kieski, she supports lifting revenue limits, allowing property tax rates to skyrocket unchecked. Even more radical, Kieski's backers want to ban natural gas to heat our homes, driving utility bills through the roof. Tax hikes and higher prices for families and those living on fixed incomes. That's Kieski's record, expensive and extreme. Reject Sarah Kieski and her radical agenda.
The impact of the black vote can largely change elections.
And I'm meeting with the local voters that can play that pivotal role. We'll learn what matters most to them and what each candidate must do to earn their support.
3 for the People, Monday at 6. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
The death toll continues to rise in the wake of Hurricane Helene. It was 1 week ago that Helene reached the Western Carolinas, Tennessee, Georgia, and Virginia. The hurricane dumped 14 inches of rain on Asheville, North Carolina. The death toll is more than 60, with dozens unaccounted for. The effects of Helene also trickling down to the rest of the country. There's concern over a nationwide IV fluid shortage after a facility in North Carolina that produces the fluid was damaged by the storm. And Portage, Wisconsin is 850 miles from Asheville, North Carolina, but that's not stopping one community here from showing support. At the Saddle Ridge Clubhouse, you'll find golf carts and clubs, but you'll also find bags of cat food and more than 10 cases of baby formula. The clubhouse's owner says she's using her space to collect items for those impacted hardest by Hurricane Helene.
The donations started trickling in yesterday, and we were able to fill our walkway.
Natural disasters happen everywhere, and it could be Portage, Wisconsin next time. And the people close by are also affected, so we need people from further away to help reach out.
You can drop off items at the clubhouse or contact Brett on Facebook for monetary donations. For other ways you can help those impacted by Hurricane Helene, including a link to donate to the American Red Cross, visit channel3000.com. And a warm and breezy day ahead of a cooler weekend. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington for how our low temperatures will get over the coming days. Alex?
Indeed. Temperatures and water have been pretty much our weather story for some time now. And, well, temperatures are going to be warm on Saturday and not as warm by the time we get to Sunday because we're tracking a cold front after a very warm Saturday. Could see some showers and thunderstorms. Breezy conditions. Breezy bringing the warm air in on Saturday, and breezy bringing in the cool air in as we go towards Sunday. Those are the three things you got to get out of the forecast. Winds are already turning around here to the south-southeast at 7. They're going to pick up tonight. We'll probably see our low temperatures during the wee hours of the morning. I'm going for a low of 47, and we're at 53 right now in Madison. Then temperatures will start to warm up as that warm air starts to feed in from the south and from the west. 42 degrees in Camp Douglas, where the cool air, clear skies, that's going to hang around for a little bit longer before that warmer air down towards Dubuque, where they're at 59, starts to move back towards the north and towards the east as we move through the rest of the night. This isn't a misprint. I say that periodically. Actually, it's becoming kind of a thing here because our temperatures have been so warm these past couple of weeks. Low to mid 80s in southwestern Wisconsin. Out ahead of that cold front, we'll do right around 80 degrees here in Madison. That will spark some showers and storms. This just updated here moments ago, showing our showers and thunderstorms. Best chances, Juneau, Adams, Marquette, Green Lake County, maybe scooting Columbia over towards Dodge County as we get towards midnight. Madison and points to the south and west, as I've been mentioning during our earlier newscast today, lesser of a chance, and our latest weather models are continuing to push that line of showers and thunderstorms. The better chances off towards the north and towards the east, and by 2 a.m., the cold front has moved through. Our winds change, and they come from the northwest, bringing in colder temperatures. Because of the speed of the line of showers and storms, and they will be weakening as they move through the area. Not expecting much water, unfortunately. Maybe enough to settle the dust, as my mom likes to say, in Juneau and Adams and Marquette and Green Lake counties. Points off to the north and east. Again, better chances for seeing at least a little water with this front. We all are going to see the winds. Hold on to your hats Saturday. Out ahead of that front, gusty winds 30 to 35 miles per hour, especially over flat terrain and in areas where there are less trees and to obstruct that wind. It's going to be gusty Saturday, and behind, the winds come from a different direction on Sunday from the northwest, but we still will continue to have those gusty winds of upwards of 30 to 35 miles per hour. We cool down briefly Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Then those temperatures go right back up. And, of course, got the Badger game tomorrow against Purdue. Kickoff temperature right around 70. We'll go for 80 degrees by the time the game ends. You can bring your shades, the shorts, and the short sleeve shirt. It's going to be breezy, but it's going to be a very warm game.
Welcome into week 7 of the Final Drive. I'm Zach Hanley alongside Andrew Banstra, and we're closing in on those playoffs.
It's hard to believe, but that means that the race for conference crowns is heating right up. Look no further than the Capital Conference. 2 teams entered the day not only undefeated in conference play, but, oh, by the way, they're a combined 12-0.
2 teams that would be Columbus and Lake Mills, and it just so happens that those 2 would meet tonight in a top 5 showdown in Division 4. Columbus has won 5 straight over Lake Mills, and the Cardinals love that ground and pound game. Check out Connor Roche. He goes straight up the gut, turns on the Jets. 57 yards later, he's in for 6. Monster night from him. 318 yards, 5 tutties. That one puts Cebus up 8-0. Now, Lake Mills would answer right back. Tyler Wolin drops back and puts it only where Dylan Brinkman can get it. That's an LCAT TD. Columbus, though, would not be denied. Cardinals fly on to 7-0 with a 45-24 win. Well, speaking of conference races, 2 teams have separated themselves from the rest of the pack in the Badger Large.
Both Waunakee and Sun Prairie East are a perfect 4-0 in conference play. The winner tonight moves 1 step closer to clinching a conference crown. Warriors have beaten the Cardinals in each of the last 2 seasons. Pick things up in the second quarter. Waunakee leading 14-7 and driving. Vance Johnson sticks it right on a streaking Aiden Meinholz, and they'd move the chains, setting up this. At the goal line, a handoff to Eli Drangsvit, and he banks it. 4-6, touchdown Waunakee. They take a 21-17 lead. But the Cardinals, they weren't backing down in front of their home crowd. Max Ramey, he finds his man Jacoby Moore. You might think it's a touchdown, but they said he was down just short. So a few plays later, Brady Kaufman, he finds his way in for 7. But this was a shocker. The defenses, they pitched a shutout for both sides in the second half. So Waunakee hangs on to win it 21-17.
In the Badger Small, Mount Horror Barneveld keeps trucking along. MHB made quick work of Lakeside Lutheran. The Vikings moved to 7-0 with a 61-14 win. They'll face Edgewood next week. The Crusaders lose a tough one. They fall to Stoughton 35-28 in overtime.
When it comes to the South Central Conference, Wisconsin Dells is usually near or at the top of the standings.
In the last 3 seasons, they've went 19-2 in the conference while capturing 2 titles. And Andrew, this year is no different. The Dells hosting Berlin. Both teams undefeated in conference play. The Indians, though, got off to a fast start. Aaron Bartle fakes the handoff and connects with Hayden Reddington, and he walks in for 6. Berlin takes a 7-0 lead. Then later in the first quarter, it gets a little messy here. Jacob Martin tries to run it in, but fumbles, ball loose, and it rolls right into Bartle's hands, and he's in for another score. Now, the Dells would answer in the second. Sam Ursuline showing off his wheels, and nobody gonna catch that man. That cuts the lead to 8, but Berlin takes it 42-6. Now, Andrew, it's not often we get a big-time non-conference matchup this late in the season, but here we are.
The reigning Division 4 state champions, Lodi, hosting Darlington, the runner-ups in Division 6. It's really a nice little measuring stick to see where you are right before the playoffs. Redbirds enter on a 4-game win streak, and they picked up right where they left off. First drive for Darlington, and how about the quarterback, Zeke Zuberbuehler? He says, I'm just going to take it from here, outlasting the Blue Devil defense and giving the Redbirds the first score of the game. But Darlington, they weren't even close to done. Midway through the second, Dante Glendenning dashing through the Blue Devils defense, and quickly Darlington takes a 21-3 lead. But they wanted more. This time it's Callum Christ quickly kicking it into high gear. Christ at full throttle, and nobody's touching him. Talk about a statement win and a statement statistic. Darlington runs for 304 yards in the first half and wins it big, 55-10. Well, it felt like Cambridge and Partyville have been on a collision course since conference play started in the Eastern Suburban.
And even though there are 2 weeks left after tonight, this game is massive. Winner all but clinches a conference championship. Both squads are undefeated and ranked in the top 5 in the Division 6. Partyville got off to a great start. Logan Young sends a dart to Jamison Wickersham, and he's streaking in the end zone from 55 yards out to put the Bulldogs up 21-6 in the second quarter. But after that, it was all Blue Jays. First, Matthew Buckman calls his own number from a yard out to make it a 1-score game. And then later, it's Buckman again. This time, he sets his feet and chucks it deep to his BFF, Kiefer Parrish. And it's simple math, Andrew. 4 + 2 = 6. Cambridge stays perfect with a 40-21 win. So Darlington, we just mentioned them. They win. They'll face Cuba City next week with a SWAL championship on the line because the Cubans beat Fenimore tonight, and the #1 team in Division 7, Potosi-Cassville, moved to 7-0 with another impressive win in the Six Rivers Conference. And still to come, skating with ease, how Casey O'Brien and the Badgers made it look easy on the ice. More sports after the break.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Save 11% on your next big project at Menards. Transform your space with Manor Hill vinyl plank flooring. It's waterproof, durable, and clicks together for easy installation. Manor Hill vinyl plank flooring is $2.99 a square foot after rebate. Wrap up that bathroom project with our great selection of Lion showers, bathtubs, and surrounds. This elite tub and shower surround is now just $519.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
They say post it or it didn't happen. But out here, in the places we were made for, you'll have to take our word for it. Find somewhere the internet's never been. With the family of Broncos designed to get you there.
Lease a new Ford Bronco for $399 a month for 36 months, only at your local Wisconsin Ford dealer.
I'm Ken, and I'm a former Trump voter. His disrespect for the military, for the people that serve in the military, and for his incessant lying, his total lack of character, there's no way that I could support him to be president of the United States again. As far as the choice to vote for Kamala Harris, absolute no-brainer. Absolute, total no-brainer. No hesitation from this lifelong Republican whatsoever.
Republican Accountability PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Join us at the Madison Fall Parade of Homes, exclusively sponsored by Nuns. Don't miss your chance to visit the area's top newly constructed homes filled with the latest trends and technology. Go to MadisonFallParadeOfHomes.com and purchase your tickets today.
He murdered a father of 3, sentenced to life in prison. Kamala Harris pushed to use tax dollars to pay for his sex change.
I made sure that they changed the policy so that every transgender inmate would have access.
It sounds insane because it is insane. Kamala was the first to help pay for a prisoner's sex change.
The power that I had, I used it in a way that was about pushing for the movement, frankly, and the agenda.
Kamala's agenda is they, them, not you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. Trust your home with RG Heating and AC.
Senator Baldwin claims she's doing something about the fentanyl crisis and says she got a major fentanyl bill passed. But Senator Baldwin is lying. The bill's main sponsor, Senator Tim Scott, had this to say.
As the primary sponsor, I've never had a single conversation with Tammy about this bill, period.
Career politicians like Senator Baldwin are always lying about something. Senator Baldwin, she's extreme, radical, and wrong.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
After a dominating performance against Lindenwood in their series opener, Wisconsin shifted their focus to a road trip to Boston College, and the Badgers showed why they're the top team in the land. Casey O'Brien grew up 30 minutes from BC, and the Badger captain put on a show for her friends and family. First period, O'Brien sends a snipe into the back of the net to get the party started. She finished with 2 goals and 2 assists. Bucky led 2-0 after 1, and they were just getting started. Second period, O'Brien leaves it for Layla Edwards, and she lights the lamp for the shorthander. Edwards had 2 goals as well. Badgers skate by the Eagles. 7-1 is your final. It's back to the old Big Ten West this week for Wisconsin, with Purdue coming to town on Saturday, and Luke Fickell's squad hasn't lost in this series in a very long time. The Badgers have beaten the Boilermakers 17 straight times. That means Brett Bielema, Gary Anderson, Paul Christ, and Jim Leonard never lost to Purdue during their head coaching tenures in Madison. And this group plans on keeping that streak alive.
It's something that's definitely crazy, like when you hear that, 17 years. Last time we lost him or whatever, I was, 2 years old, so it's like, it's weird, but, let's make it 18 is the way we see it. I mean, it's cool, for 17 years, like you said, we've won, so let's make it another year, Can't be, caught up in the streak, gotta keep the streak alive, now we gotta win.
Well, it took Jordan Love about a half of football to get back to himself on Sunday, and he'll be the first one to tell you he struggled with his accuracy early on. But with each rep against the Vikings, Love felt more and more comfortable. And while he continues to deal with a knee that doesn't seem to be fully back to 100% just yet, Green Bay's QB1 says the reps are what will get him back to playing his best brand of football.
It all comes down to just not getting some of those reps for 2 weeks and trying to get back out there, and haven't had that timing of throwing to live guys. I've been throwing to a lot of stationary routes, things like that. Like I said, last week was a good confidence boost, and I was moving around good, getting out of the pocket a couple times, scrambling, things like that, and everything felt fine. So I think we'll definitely keep building that stuff up.
And we'll be right back.
Shop the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. Lease a new Silverado 1500 starting at $355 a month, or a 24 Equinox EV starting at $299 a month. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromMadison.com.
I remember coming home from school and pounding on the door, but my mother wouldn't answer. She'd be passed out inside. My mother had a drug abuse problem. She struggled with addiction to prescription pills her whole life. But today with fentanyl, one pill, just one pill can kill. So I've worked with Republicans to stop the flow of fentanyl that's poisoning families across Wisconsin. I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message. This fight hits close to home.
There are over 21,000 Wisconsin veterans struggling to pay for rent and utilities.
Thank you for your service.
Many are also facing issues with their mental health.
Thank you for your service.
We must do more to help these heroes who have already sacrificed so much.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
Words simply aren't enough.
I'm sorry.
Make a difference by donating to this critical Wisconsin survival safety net today.
These are real people seeking solutions to real problems.
I have plantar fasciitis.
Pain with my feet, my knees. Feet, knees, hips, and back.
And then they were fit with Good Feet arch supports.
I definitely feel the heel-to-toe walk.
I'm not feeling any pain, especially in my heel. That's where I always feel it.
I don't feel the knee pain.
I didn't notice any pain in my back. I feel like I could walk all day in these.
Oh, you're a blessing in disguise.
Try them for yourself with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Hot tub season is here now, and Leisure Concepts has so many hot tubs in our showroom we can barely move. Tons of new hot tubs. Floor models are on sale, and a powerful 4-seat hot tub is just $59.99. We'll deliver your new hot tub immediately, and we train you so owning and loving your hot tub is a breeze. Check out our huge packed showroom now for a great hot tub at a great price. Leisure Concepts is on the Beltline at the Park Street exit.
If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, watch out.
The insurance company is going to ask you to sign some papers. Don't do it.
Don't trust the insurance company after your accident. You can miss out on what you really deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Hi, I'm Sue Jenick, League of Women Voters of Dane County President. Know who you are going to vote for and why. Think about your values and what is important to you and your family. Seek out information about the candidates. On October 22nd, the League of Women Voters will publish candidates' answers outlining their beliefs and priorities for voters.
3 things to know, part of News 3 Now's 3 Cares Community Impact. The Packers face the Rams, Sunday at 3:25.
Tonight, young people are nervous about the 2024 election. Am I young?
Colbert's got Rachel Maddow tonight on CBS.
Fat Bear Week competition is back. This year's start to the Fat Bear Week was not without some controversy. The competition is put on by Alaska's Katmai National Park, where the fattest bears face off and head-to-head.
As they do.
Big fat mashup. Oh, and you know, it's like March Madness style brackets where you can vote to crown the fattest bear on a planet. Did you ever?
Is that objective though? Maybe we can't weigh them. I don't know. It's tough to say. But I did hear there was some real controversy with this.
Fat Bear Week. Let's celebrate. Have a good night.